All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing today on this Wednesday, January the 20th, 2021? And what a year it's going to be here on the channel. Thank you for joining me here once again tonight. Welcome to another metallic episode of Music of Destruction, bringing you guys the best in metal-related content on the only metal channel you need right here on YouTube. If you missed anything in the past week, click that I in the upper right corner of the screen. Get caught up on all my latest videos. Everything you need is up there, man. Thank you so much. Welcome to Album Ranking Wednesdays here on the channel once again. If you guys want me to review anything, drop it in the comment section below, but no slam or deathcore. I don't really like metalcore either, so please don't request any of that shit either. Tonight, I have decided to rank Haunt's albums, and I'm really excited for this episode because I've got Mind Freeze coming in the mail, and I cannot wait to get most of their discography. Their new album's kind of lacking a little bit, but we'll talk about that. Yeah, one of the best bands in the new wave of traditional heavy metal, in my opinion. And Haunt struck a chord with me the minute I heard Luminous Eyes, and you can check out my full review of that album in the Metal Reviews playlist. If you haven't seen that, go and check that out. I'd appreciate it. So before we get into the ranking, let me give you guys some background history on Haunt. Now, Haunt are an American heavy metal band from Fresno, California. And the band was originally created as a solo project by Trevor William Church. As such, he is technically the only original member in the lineup, but Church is also the sole songwriter and lyricist in the group. Now, Haunt was originally formed by Trevor William Church as a musical project to be worked on alongside his existing band Beastmaker, and I will be getting some of their albums and doing a ranking on them as well. Trevor William Church is incredible. Anything he fucking touches is golden. Now, the project was to take on a traditional metal sound as opposed to Beastmaker's more doom metal style. Now, in 2017, Church wrote and recorded Haunt's debut release, the extended play Luminous Eyes, with Daniel Wilson playing drums for the recording on that record. Now, it was first released digitally and as an independent release, but it later received physical releases from the Shadow Kingdom Records label. In 2018, Church wrote and recorded one single, Haunt, Ghosts. Later that same year, Haunt released their first full-length studio album, Burst Into Flame. Now, Daniel Wilson had returned at this time to play drums for the album. Now, this time as an official band member, which is really cool. Joining Church and Wilson for the album were Matthew Wilhoit on bass and John Tucker on guitars. Now, both Wilson and Tucker would stay as permanent members, but Wilhoit would be replaced by Taylor Holloman on following releases. Now, in 2019, Haunt released their second EP, Mosaic Vision, their second studio album, If Icarus Could Fly, and two splits. So a pretty prolific, illustrious release schedule with just those albums so far. Now, A Fool's Paradise and On the Streets Again and Sea of Dreams, The Crystal Temple. Now, the following year, they released their third and fourth studio album titled Mind Freeze and Flashback, respectively, as well as the Burst Into Flames demo compilation. So you can see, even in the last 4 years, I guess, well, it's 3.5 years, this band has put out so much material. Now, for time's sake, we're only going to be doing the full lengths, as well as the first Luminous Eyes demo. But if I was to get into talking about everything they put out, we'd be here for quite a while. So, all right, so let's get into the ranking now, shall we? Now, coming in at number 5, we have Flashback, released in 2020 on Church Recordings and independently, digitally on their Bandcamp. Now, this record I did listen to a couple days ago, and it just doesn't have that same old school sound that I really admire about the band from previous releases. Now, that's not to take anything away from the instrumentation, emotion, and overall impact of this record, but without that raw production of earlier releases, I don't know, it just sounds too clean for a Haunt release. I mean, after all, this is the new wave of traditional heavy metal, and I think they should have kept that old school production value. It's not squeaky clean, but it's cleaner than I'm used to for Haunt, and it's a good album, but definitely gets the lowest point on this ranking because it's got that cleaner production. Anyway, it's still a great album. I'm going to probably pick this one up at some point. Pretty decent stuff. Flashback comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have their demo, Luminous Eyes. released in 2018 on Shadow Kingdom Records, the EP rather. And I got this on vinyl, and you can check out my review of it. This is a great fucking album, very epic, very atmospheric, very fantasy-driven, but also it's got some great emotion. There's great instrumentation and variation and dynamics on this album, too, that really give it a tremendous impact, and probably one of the records that catapulted so many bands forward in the new wave of traditional heavy metal. I could see Haunt being a huge influence and impact on these younger bands. So yeah, this is a great album. Make sure you check out Luminous Eyes, comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have Icarus, If Icarus Could Fly, released in 2019 on Shadow Kingdom Records. This one is a fucking masterpiece. I really enjoy this record. Very epic, very takes you away. It's very atmospheric, but it gives you that feeling of just flying through the air, and it's a very great album to listen to when you're trying to triumph over circumstances, and it gives you that sense of flight. So it's like an escape from this world. It's a very, very great fucking record, and it just takes you away. It's got great instrumentation, lyricism, and production. I really enjoy this album a lot. Haunt's done a great job with all of their discography. I just wish Flashback wasn't so clean. But yeah, If Icarus Could Fly, great album. One of the best in traditional heavy metal, in my opinion. Make sure you check that out. Coming in at number 2, Burst Into Flame, released in 2018 on Shadow Kingdom Records. The continuation where they left off on Luminous Eyes, but heavier, a little bit of a darker atmosphere, but also got that triumph and that positivity to it, with a lot of atmospheric textures and just a great sense of belonging and connection to metal in general. This is a very heavy metal driven record, and it's got some of the best instrumentation I've heard in a long time for a traditional heavy metal album, and it's just absolutely killer. Make sure you check out Burst Into Flame. Coming in at number 1, Mind Freeze, released in 2020 on Shadow Kingdom Records. I'm getting this in the mail. This is easily their crowning achievement, their best album, an even rawer production, a more old school sound, a more organic sound than anything else they put out so far, and it's got just a great dark aura to it. It's a little bit more of a tragic sounding album. I think there's a little bit more of a darker, sinister, emotional context to it, but also got some of the greatest instrumentation in their discography, and the songs have a lot of variation, and yeah, it's a very heavy album, so make sure you check that one out. I can't wait to review it for you. I've got a lot of ideas in mind about what I'm going to talk about in the review. Yeah, this album, fucking killer. Mind Freeze gets number 1 from Haunt. If you guys haven't heard Haunt yet, it's playing in the background. Make sure you pick up anything from Trevor William Church. Beastmaker's another one, but that's more doom metal. But this is like Black Sabbath meets fucking Judas Priest, you know what I mean? So, and Iron Maiden. This is some of the best stuff I've ever heard in a long time. And I really appreciate the direction that Trevor William Church has taken this band in, because there's a lot of great stuff coming from Haunt and Beastmaker. Alright guys, so there you have it, another album ranking in the books here on Music of Destruction, and as always, I sincerely hope that you guys enjoyed tonight's video. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell, select all, so you don't miss anything when I post a new video. Pump those notifications. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Music of Destruction. You can join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Music of Destruction. Follow me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Music of Destruction. Got a lot of great gaming content coming on the weekends up there. Make sure you guys should check that out. The Seed episode number 29, The History of Iron Maiden. Part 2 is up on Patreon. Part 3 will be coming up at the end of January. If you'd like to support the channel, I'd appreciate it. Patreon.com/Music of Destruction. Pick the $5 tier. Get access for life to the podcast. If you can't afford that and just want to do $1, I will shout out your channel or your name, etc., and review stuff you guys want me to, within reason, of course. $10 a month gets you band promotions here on the channel, interviews, and all that great stuff for your band. So make sure, if you want to do that, I'd appreciate it. Your support going to new equipment, lighting, cameras, more green screen stuff. We got a studio we're building out in the living room for Reviews on the Run, the brand new YouTube channel by myself and Colton James. We're going to be doing movie and game reviews. We're really excited to bring this one to you guys. So let's check out a new clip of what you guys can expect. And we are back. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We will see you for Top 15 Thursdays and the live stream on Thursday night. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night. See you in the next video.